Section. Of course, we're continuing in Unit 4. We're talking about people need laws. Our reading section is going to be talking about why people need laws and what are the results if people follow the laws. We learned a lot of good vocabulary. Let's review that vocabulary in the reading section and talk about what the reading section is about. First of all, we have citizens are people who live and work in a community. Right, we've seen that a lot before. That's just actually a standard definition, right? That's the definition that we saw before of citizens. And that is it's not really a topic sentence, it's just a definition sentence. Citizens are people who live and work in a community. A community can be small, like a neighborhood, and large, like a city or a country. So we have a couple of sentences that define terms. First, we had a definition, what are citizens? Then we saw the word community, and then the next sentence defined what is a community. And we saw three examples. It can be a neighborhood, it can be a city, large like a city, or it can be a country. Okay, so we see two sentences, first of all, are talking about definitions. What are these things? What is a citizen? What is a community? And so we see those two. So when someone lives in a neighborhood, he or she is called a neighborhood citizen. So that's interesting. We saw two sentences that give us definitions. Then we see so. So therefore, putting these two sentences together, when someone lives in a neighborhood, which is like a community, he or she is called a neighborhood citizen. So we put these two together, okay? First we talked about citizen, then we talked about types of communities, then we put both words together and we have neighborhood citizen. So, two sentences showing definitions, and then so, when somebody lives in this type of place, they are called a neighborhood citizen. Interesting idea. So remember, citizen is not just country, it's not just state, it can also be neighborhood citizen. Now, when they live in the United States of America, they are called American citizens. So that's another type of citizen. You have a neighborhood citizen, you also have American citizen, talking about countries, okay? Of course, different countries have different types of citizens, or you call them different names, like Korean citizen, American citizen, Mexican citizen, according to the country. Every community has laws which citizens should obey or follow. Here, finally, is what we're talking about here. This is the main idea, really. This is like our topic sentence right here. Finally, we get to it. And that's, sometimes writing passages will do that. They'll make certain definitions. They will define certain terms that you need to know first, and then they will get to the main topic of the reading passage. The main topic here, of course, is that every community has laws which citizens should obey or follow. That's really the main idea of this passage. What we read before is just definition of terms. So let's continue with our main idea. Laws help keep a community clean, safe, and fair. So we have three reasons for laws. Why do communities have laws? Why should citizens obey or follow those laws? Because they help keep the community clean, safe, and fair. Then we have another idea, expansion of the idea. Signs in parks say no dumping. No dumping. What does no dumping mean? That means no littering. Don't throw your trash on the ground. Another very common sign that you will see is don't litter. Don't litter. It's the same as no dumping. Also, it just means do not throw trash on the ground. On the ground. So when you are eating something, you're eating a piece of candy or you have something that's wrapped up in food, when you're finished eating, don't take that wrapper and throw it on the ground, right? Don't dump your trash, don't litter, don't throw your trash on the ground, right? Of course, you shouldn't do that, especially in parks, because parks are supposed to be clean and nice for everybody to enjoy. And if there's a lot of trash on the ground, that's not fair. Other people can't enjoy the park. Okay. Traffic signs. Okay, so we saw signs Now we see a more specific type of sign, traffic signs. Traffic signs tell walkers when to cross the road. They also tell drivers when to stop. So traffic signs here are telling people two things. One, they're telling walkers, that's the first one, when to cross the road. And two, drivers, that's the second one, when to stop. So traffic signs tell different people different things. First, they tell walkers when to cross the road. Second, they tell drivers when to stop. Now, citizens can enjoy living in a fair community when everybody obeys the laws, right? That's kind of like a summary, or that's kind of a wrap-up. That's kind of a restatement of what they've already said, right? We've said there are citizens, people who live in a community, citizens live in a community. We have laws. Why do we have laws? To make it safe, to make it clean, to make it fair. And of course, we can enjoy living in a fair community if everybody obeys the laws. Our last sentence is about what happens if that's not true. If people don't follow the laws, what happens? In that case, if they don't follow or obey the law, and they break the law, they make problems for a community. So you don't want to make problems for the community. You don't want to cause trouble. You don't want to give other people or make difficulties for other people. You don't want to do that, right? So you want to have a nice community. You don't want to have problems. So if people don't follow the law, they break the laws, they make problems for everybody. And people are not happy. And people say it's not fair. Okay? So this is important to follow the law. Of course, the people who break laws, like I told you before, they are criminals. If they're caught, the punishment is very strong. So that's one way that we have to make sure that people follow the laws, is to punish the people who break laws. Okay, now we've come to